Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome for another edition of the video productions by the Artelino Company. The Artelino Company sells Japanese prints in weekly online auctions, and my name is Dieter Ventura, and I'm the owner of this little family company located in Bavaria in southern Germany. Today I want to talk a little bit about this print. This print is from a series by a famous artist. The artist is Ando Hiroshige. He was the leading woodblock printmaker, woodblock print designer for landscape prints in the first half of the 19th century. And this print is from a famous series that he designed and created shortly before his death. It's the famous series 100 Famous Views of Edo. And I want to take this print as an example to explain two technical terms connected with Japanese prints that you often may encounter on catalogs, be it as print catalogs or on the internet in online descriptions. Well, and these two terms are binding holes. What are binding holes? Well, actually, these are these four holes there on top. We showed them in detail before. And the other thing is impression. You will encounter that rather frequent. Collectors of Japanese prints have basically three factors to value a print by quality. One is the condition. Well, does it look very old? Okay, is it dirty? Okay, does it warm holes? The other one is the quality of colors. Does this print have fresh colors or are they faded out? And the third quality factor is impressions. Let me tell you a little bit about the artist Ando Hiroshige. Ando Hiroshige was born in 1797 and he died in 1858. He was the son of a fire warden. His father was in the service of the shogun, the ruler of Japan, who had his residence at the Edo castle. Edo was the old name for today's Tokyo. And we even have a portrait of Ando Hiroshige, but it's not a photograph. Well, that was too early for photographs, but we have a woodblock print portrait by a contemporary of Ando Hiroshige, also a famous artist, Kunisada Utagawa, and I found this print on Wikipedia. Let's take a look. Oh, can you see it? That's Ando Hiroshige, and I guess, well, this portrait, this woodblock print, was created shortly before the death of Ando Hiroshige. The series 100 Famous Views of Edo was published between 1856 and 1858. The publisher was ukiyo-e. Sorry for my Japanese. And this series, it's famous today, and it was already famous during the 19th century, and later with the opening of Japan, it also came to countries like France, and it influenced the French Impressionists greatly, unbelievable. The post-impressionist Van Gogh, for instance, he painted even copies from that series, and he also integrated designs from the series into his own paintings. The series consists of 118 designs plus one title page. So that happens often with Japanese print series. The title is misleading. The title is 100 Famous Views of Edo, but it's actually 118. And later, the pupil who, after the death of Ando Hiroshige, followed him as Hiroshige II, added one more design. Hiroshige II probably also assisted his master because it was 1 year before his death, and he may already have been very weak. He may have assisted him in some of the designs, and I just said he later added one more design. Well, Hiroshige II, he was not only the pupil, but he also was the son-in-law of Ando Hiroshige, because he had married his master's daughter. The series, by the way, represents the 4 seasons, and prices are very high, mainly for early editions. We have this design from the series in our current auction. It's our item number 81937, and it shows a kind of a shopping lane for cotton goods. And I promised you at the beginning of this video, I will show and demonstrate and explain a little bit what binding holes are. Well, you see them here on top, and I enlarged it here on our presentation screen. And there you see these 4 holes. Well, they are called binding holes. You must know that Japanese books and the creation of single prints, colorful images like this one, they were the same technique, yeah? And when publishers created a complete book, they had to take the single prints, the single sheets, and get them somehow together. And one technique was to bind them together with a string, yeah? I'm not a national speaker of English, and so I tried to find a good definition of binding holes on the internet, and I find something on a gallery site, Toshidama Gallery, good site. I think it's located in the UK, and I want to read that for you because it's much better explained than my English in funny Bavarian English. Well, let me read that. Townsmen were, yeah, one can see it quite well, were avid collectors of prints, either individually or in whole series. When the loose leaves of prints became unmanageable, they would be sent to one of Edo's many binders to be turned into a scrapbook. Well, I think now it's a little bit more clear what binding holes are. When I started collecting Japanese prints, well, I was always scratching my beard and thought, hey, for heaven's sake, what is that? Well, at the beginning of this video, I promised you to explain what the quality factor impressions means. In order to understand that, you should know a little bit how a woodblock print is made. There are many excellent videos on the internet, by David Bull, for instance, or one is by Graham Scholes. You see him there. He was one of the pioneers of making a video for the internet demonstrating how he makes a woodblock print. You find this video also on the Artelino website, or go to YouTube, Graham Scholes, and there you will find it. The problem with the quality of impressions is the following. In order to create such a print, a carver had to carve the image into a block, into one block for each image, yeah? Imagine. And afterwards, a printer, a specialized printer, had to make the copies on paper by pasting the color on the block, then putting the paper on it, and then pressing the paper with a baron on it, and repeating that for each color. The artist did not do the carving. The artist did not make the printing by pulling these copies. This was done by specialists who, I once read, needed an apprenticeship of up to 10 years to learn how to do it. But why are there differences in impression quality? Well, that may have 2 reasons. Well, first of all, the printer may have worked sloppily, yeah. And if the demand for a print series was very large and customers were waiting to buy one in long lines, they may have worked a little bit sloppily. But the main reason was the quality of the blocks, because the more copies you pulled, the more the quality or the wooden block was worn off. I once read in a book that you can make a maximum of 6, 8 or maybe 10,000 of copies from one block. And then you can repair it a little bit, but by and large then you have to recarve the block, and then it's no longer the original, then it's a reproduction. This copy was pulled from the original block, but it's described by Yori, my Japanese wife. The impression is not ranked as good by her. I think it's even fair. And well, she knows why, and yeah, she has a rather strict attitude towards that. You find the series 100 Famous Views of Edo by Hiroshige, of course, also on the internet, on some good pages, and also as complete series. One is Wikipedia, that's always a good source, in my view, my personal opinion. Another one is a gallery site, The Art of Japan. It's by Richard A. Waldman and Doc Fraser, two collectors and dealers. And here they have a good, a precise, concise description, and they show the complete series in very good condition. If you want to see it all on one page in excellent condition, go there. And well, then there is something, I discovered it only recently. It's by Google, and it's called Google's Art and Culture. Also the complete series, Hiroshige's 100 Famous Views of Edo, with a little bit of description. And at the beginning, they show the title page, and well, then you can see, I think they show the complete series in sort order by the 4 seasons. And of course, Artelino also has an article about this series. I just show you now the flagship print, because this has already been a long video today. But thanks for your patience, thanks for watching, and have a nice weekend. Goodbye.